Hey, thanks for watching. Today's video is by request of Scott Marley. Thanks for your input, man. Hope you enjoy the show. All right, guys, welcome to another weekly weapons brief brought to you by Battlefield Vegas. Hey, Anna, you grab that Bren for me? Yeah, the one on the top. Thanks. Today, we're going to be talking about the Bren.
I'm sorry, I can't reach this
Okay,
one.
I'm sorry. Today, we're talking about the Bren. This here's the Bren light machine gun.
Thank you.
I love you too, girl. This is the Bren light machine gun. Designed and put into production in 1935. It's still produced today, but was actually in service from 1938 to 2006. Originally fired the .303 British, other variants would fire the 8x57mm or the 7.62 NATO. It is gas operated, fires from the open bolt at a little over 500 rounds per minute from a 30-round box magazine or the 100-round pan magazine. All right, so the design of the Bren light machine gun was derived from the Czech ZB26. The ZB26 was put into production in Brno, Moravia, and the Bren was made by Enfield. So BR from Brno, EN from Enfield is where you get the name Bren. So the Brits were looking for something that was light, portable. It was a little bit lighter and more portable than the Vickers, but they were also looking for something that was more sustainable in firepower than the Lewis gun. So this is where they come up with the Bren. It was still ran by a two-man team, and it was used from anything between a suppressive fire weapon to anti-aircraft. So there's at least 5 different variants of this, the Bren gun, and it's been used by more than 40 different armies around the world, but that includes also being picked up on the battlefield. So we're going to actually take this over to Sean and do, as always, we're going to break it down, put it back together for you, and go from there.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and break apart the Bren. Start off just like any firearm. You're going to pull the bolt to the rear, physically and visually inspect the chamber to make sure that there's nothing in it. Keeping the bolt to the rear, we're going to close this magazine cover. We're going to lift up on this handle on the side of the barrel till it clicks, and then you're going to pull the barrel forward. Barrel's going to come off. Next thing you're going to do is close this little latch and then ride the bolt forward. There's 2 pins, one in the front, one in the back. You're going to rotate it down and pull it straight out. It's not going to come all the way out. The one in the back, you're just going to push from one end and pull the other side out. It's not going to come out either. And then you're going to separate the lower from the upper. The lower is going to go to the side right there. Pretty much easy cleaning. The recoil spring is built into the buttstock. You can pull that out if you want to, but it's not always necessary. Next thing you're going to do is pull back on the charging handle to release the bolt and op rod. Now the bolt is actually quite a unique design. It's a tilting bolt system. Even though it fires from the open bolt, it eases in extracting. So on the return of the op rod, as you can see, the bolt is at a tilted angle. And then when it goes back and closes into battery, it then locks up against a block and it is then parallel. To get it off, you're just going to push it all the way to the back and lift up on the back end, and it comes right off. This is the locking block area for the bolt. If you look at it, it's pretty much an upside down 240 Bravo. Everything's big, easy, huge parts, hard to break, easy to change the extractor if and when it ever goes out. Other than that, pretty easy gun. Everything inside's easy to get to. Good, it's open. The gas area gets quite dirty. You gotta clean that off. The cool thing about the barrel is it has an adjustable gas block system in it. Unlike most firearms with an adjustable gas block, you would change the gas setting based on how dirty the gun was. This one is actually based on the environment that you're in when you're shooting it. whether it be desert environment, cold environment, wet. That's what dictated which one of the 4 settings you would set this thing to. This gun was actually a pretty accurate gun. It was so accurate, in fact, that the British, they requested that this barrel be made less accurate to increase the cone of fire because it was just too accurate out to 600 meters. What most Brits would do before they actually changed the design to make it a little bit less accurate was they would ask for shot-out barrels that were less accurate so that they could use it for better suppressive fire. All right, so there's a couple other key differences in this version. This is the Mark I. There was actually a Mark II, Mark III, and Mark IV. The Mark I had a monopod underneath the back of the buttstock, also attached it to a tripod mount. And the bipods on the front of the Mark I are telescoping. They can actually change height. When the Mark II came out, there was a few changes that the infantrymen asked for, one with the less accurate barrel. They also made the bipods what they called grunt-proof or soldier-proof by making the bipods just a fixed height where you couldn't change them. They also, like I said, they deleted the monopod in the back. The Mark III was just, it was a change to what they made for airborne units. They just basically modified the Mark I by making it a shorter barrel. And then the Mark IV, they did exactly the same thing, made it a shorter barrel, but they converted a Mark II. So, other than that, we're going to go ahead and put this gun back together. It's just what you saw before in reverse. It's pretty simple to do. The first thing you want to do is to grab the upper receiver, take the bolt and op rod. You're going to insert it into the little slots that are built in on the inside of the receiver here. You probably won't be able to see them from where you're sitting at home. Let it slide home. Then you're going to take your lower. There's another set of slots underneath where your bolt went in, and this is going to run all the way up until it closes, and you're going to push that pin shut. Same thing with the second pin that's in the front. You're going to push it shut and lock it up. You're going to take your barrel, lifting up on your barrel gate, making sure that your gas block is straight, insert the barrel, and close your barrel gate. Just do a quick functions test, make sure that it operates properly, putting it into full auto, and that's it.
All right, guys, so here at Battlefield Vegas, when you're firing this thing, it's going to be, the bipods are going to be on the bench. So you're going to get down low behind it, make sure that this is in the pocket of your shoulder. As always, your finger is high and up off the trigger until you're aiming, ready to shoot. Your non-firing hand, you're going to make sure your non-firing hand is back here on the buttstock. You don't want it underneath anywhere forward of your firing hand because all the hot brass is coming out right there.
Hey, you guys are so great. You guys are like the greatest ever.
Right.
I'm like
Okay.
your biggest
Thank you.
fan.
So make sure your cheek is down and low on the buttstock because the rear sights, like we said earlier, they're often to the left, so you can only shoot this right-handed. But you're going to be looking through the rear sight, put the front post into the rear sight. This is not your sight aperture. This is a mag release. And when you're squeezing the trigger, just squeeze hard and give a full release in between your bursts. Thanks a lot, brother.
Thanks, guys, for watching. And as always, leave your comments and concerns right here on the Are these subtitles? I have seriously been speaking English this entire time. I speak English, guys. What? Are you still subbing me? Are you seriously still subbing me? I'm out. Whatever, guys.